Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is June 19th, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, markets really wavering. Lighter volume, summer trading, all that is happening right now. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 8 a.m. earlier this morning, out of Great Britain, we had a CPI, core price index number. Didn't really change much in the markets. Now looking at the Forex symbols, the majors unchanged, while the Turkish Lira corrects itself, okay, after making those new lows. Looking at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ really unchanged. And as we shift over to commodity, oil clears $80 a barrel. And looking at stocks, mostly unchanged for the day. And lastly, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin continues to slide to the downside. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Turkish Lira. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. Not a big deal, but let's look at a 30-hour chart. Now, we had that big gap up, that rally to new all-time record lows, and it's correcting itself. Okay, the question is whether or not it's going to fill the gap. And you could see it came all the way back to where the gap happened. And now the question is whether or not it's going to bounce off of this or not. So this is a very hard trade because the Turkish Lira is not a major player. It's not a major currency. And because of that, it has a lot of whipsaw kind of moves, okay, that could shake you out. It doesn't trade with so much volume all at one time, and that's really the reason for it. Right now, looking at the GBP USD, okay, nothing much doing this morning, okay, you could see that we are up by 10, 15 pips after the CPI. So, yes, we were on support anyway, right? So we were anticipating this bounce, okay, but again, nothing doing here. No big action. Now shifting over to not gold, but shifting over to crude oil. This is where it's at. Now look at it. It's at $80.38. Cleared that $79 just a little bit. Not enough for us to have oomph on the upside, but for us to perk our attention and say, hey, maybe this will take it higher. Not necessarily did it give me that confirmation, but that's exactly where I'm at. I'm a little bit. And this is the thing about trading breakouts, okay? When you get to a resistance or a supportish area and it kind of stalls around it, but doesn't clear it, doesn't have a lot of volume, there's not much to go with conviction on either side of it. So that's in terms of oil here. Now looking at the US markets, really did nothing. And look at that. Dow Jones was like in a 10 to 20 pip area. Look at that. I mean, that's just not tradable, okay? Really not tradable. Now looking at the NASDAQ, also, it just consolidated yesterday. Just traded on the side. It did gain, it didn't sell off, that's positive, but it didn't push up higher either. So the market are just kind of absorbing where we are right now. And we are in summer trading, okay? June 19th is super summer trading, okay? And we're heading over to July 4th weekend, and that's going to be a holiday, so keep that in mind as that is closing in. Now looking at the stocks again, they didn't do much. Apple holding on to its gains and didn't really retrace. Facebook was just a little bit lower, but again, nothing to write home about. Tesla did also hang out at its resistance-ish level, but didn't move any higher. Okay, so really not a lot of activity in the market right now because, like I said, it's summer traded. So keep that in mind. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it slid lower. It did get a bounce, but it did slide lower, okay, to 64K, and then bouncing about 1K from it. Now, this is still in a downwards momentum, and I'd use that 30-day moving average as my trend line, okay, for a resistance-ish area anytime it bounces up until the point that it's going to cross over it. And this is what's beautiful. When the 8-day moving average on the 4-hour chart, okay, crossed over the 30-day moving average, that's back up here. When that happened, you could have made $5,000 just shorting this thing from 70 down to 65. It was a simple trade and just a simple crossover. Nothing really fancy, nothing really, no hydraulics, no crazy kind of stuff, just simple trading, technical trading. That's all it was. So many opportunities like this will reclaim again. I'm telling you that. Okay, so just keep in mind. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.